Women have always held a unique place in society, shaping the very fabric of our communities, families, and nations. Throughout history, great minds have understood that the way we communicate with women requires not just intelligence, but wisdom, empathy, and emotional depth.
Today, we explore 5 profound truths that intelligent individuals understand should never be shared with women, not out of deception, but out of respect, understanding, and genuine care for their emotional well-being and the harmony of relationships.
Before we dive deep into these 5 critical insights, it's essential to understand that intelligence isn't merely about knowledge or intellectual capacity. True intelligence encompasses emotional awareness, social understanding, and the wisdom to know when silence speaks louder than words. The most intelligent people throughout history have recognized that what we choose not to say is often just as important as what we do say. The first truth that wise individuals keep to themselves is the complete details of their past romantic relationships. There's a profound reason behind this discretion. When you share exhaustive details about previous partners, you're not simply sharing history, you're creating comparisons, planting seeds of insecurity, and building unnecessary bridges to a past that should remain exactly where it is. Women, like all human beings, possess vivid imaginations and deep emotional intelligence. When given detailed information about past loves, the mind naturally begins to draw comparisons, wondering how they measure up, questioning whether they're truly valued for who they are, or simply filling a role once occupied by another.
The intelligent person understands that a woman deserves to feel unique, irreplaceable, and valued for her individual qualities. She should never feel like she's competing with ghosts from your past or living in the shadow of former relationships. While honesty about having a past is important, there's a vast difference between acknowledging previous relationships existed and providing a detailed catalog of memories, experiences, and intimate moments. Your past shaped you, but it doesn't need to become a constant presence in your current relationship. Keep those details locked away, not to hide who you were, but to honor who you both are now. The second truth that should remain unspoken involves the intimate details of what you discuss with your friends about your relationship. Men often share aspects of their relationships with close friends, seeking advice, venting frustrations, or simply processing emotions. This is natural and healthy. However, revealing exactly what you've said about her to your friends can create unnecessary hurt and distance. She doesn't need to know that you complained about an argument to your best friend, or that you discussed personal aspects of your relationship over drinks with colleagues. This isn't about dishonesty. It's about understanding that some conversations serve a purpose in the moment, but lose their value when repeated. When you tell a woman exactly what you've shared with friends about her or your relationship, you're essentially making her feel exposed and betrayed. She begins to wonder how many people know about private matters, who's forming opinions about her based on your venting sessions, and whether she can truly trust you with vulnerable aspects of herself.
The wise person creates a protective boundary around the relationship, allowing for necessary external processing while maintaining the sacred privacy that intimate partnerships require. The third profound truth involves never explicitly telling a woman that you find other women attractive. Now, this requires careful understanding. Everyone, regardless of relationship status, will find other people attractive. This is human nature, biological reality, and completely normal. The intelligent person, however, recognizes that verbalizing this attraction serves absolutely no positive purpose. Some argue that radical honesty demands sharing every thought and feeling, but wisdom teaches us that radical honesty without compassion is simply cruelty disguised as virtue.
When you tell a woman that you find another woman attractive, what exactly are you accomplishing? You're not being more honest. You're being thoughtless. You're creating insecurity where none needed to exist. You're making her question her own attractiveness, wondering if she's enough, comparing herself to others, and feeling diminished in your eyes.
The intelligent individual understands that finding others attractive doesn't diminish the love, commitment, and desire they feel for their partner. These attractions are fleeting, meaningless, and don't require verbalization. Keep your eyes on the woman who has chosen to walk through life with you, and keep unnecessary commentary about others to yourself. The fourth truth that wise individuals never share is the full extent of their financial struggles or deepest fears about the future. This point requires nuance because healthy relationships absolutely require transparency about finances and shared concerns about the future. However, there's a significant difference between sharing financial realities and burdening a woman with every anxiety, every worst-case scenario, and every moment of financial panic you experience. Women are often natural nurturers with deep emotional capacities for worry and care. When you constantly download every financial fear, every concern about job security, every anxiety about providing and protecting, you're not just sharing, you're transferring your emotional burden onto her shoulders. The intelligent person understands that strength doesn't mean suffering in silence, but it does mean processing your emotions appropriately before involving your partner. It means coming to her with problems you're actively working to solve, not simply problems you're panicking about. She should be your partner in facing challenges, not the emotional dumping ground for unprocessed anxiety. Share your financial realities, make decisions together, face challenges as a team, but don't make her carry the full weight of your every fear. Process with trusted friends, mentors, or professionals first, then bring the refined version of the challenge to your relationship. This isn't about protecting her from reality, it's about protecting the emotional stability of your partnership. The fifth and perhaps most crucial truth is that an intelligent person never tells a woman that they're being emotional or irrational during a disagreement. This single phrase has destroyed more productive conversations and created more distance in relationships than perhaps any other. When a woman expresses feelings, concerns, or frustrations, and your response is to label her as emotional or irrational, you're not addressing the issue, you're dismissing her entire experience. Intelligence recognizes that emotions are not the opposite of logic. They're a different form of information. Women often process experiences and information through an emotional lens that's incredibly valuable when properly understood. When she's expressing feelings, she's sharing important data about her internal experience, the state of your relationship, and areas that need attention. By labeling this as mere emotionality or irrationality, you're shutting down communication and making her feel unheard and invalidated. The wise person leans into these moments with curiosity rather than judgment. Instead of dismissing emotions, ask questions, seek to understand. Recognize that what might seem like an overreaction to you might be the culmination of many smaller unaddressed issues. That moment of emotional expression might be her finally feeling safe enough to be vulnerable with you. Don't squander that gift by reducing her experience to a label. These 5 truths reveal something profound about human relationships and genuine intelligence. True wisdom isn't about knowing everything, it's about understanding when silence, discretion, and emotional intelligence serve a greater purpose than raw honesty. It's about recognizing that the person you love deserves protection, not just from external threats, but from unnecessary hurt that can come from thoughtless words. Relationships thrive not on complete transparency of every passing thought, but on intentional communication that builds trust, security, and mutual respect. The intelligent person curates their words, not to deceive, but to nurture. They understand that some truths are better left unspoken, not because they're shameful, but because their expression would create pain without purpose.
As we reflect on these insights, consider your own communication patterns. Are there areas where you've shared too much? Where your words have created distance rather than closeness? Are there moments where discretion might have served your relationship better than complete disclosure? Intelligence in relationships means constantly learning, adapting, and growing in your understanding of how to love, honor, and respect the people who matter most.
Remember, the goal isn't manipulation or control through withheld information. The goal is wisdom, creating space for love to flourish without the unnecessary complications that careless words can create. The strongest relationships are built on trust, respect, and the understanding that some things are better left unsaid, not because they're secrets, but because they're irrelevant to the beautiful life you're building together.